Hey everybody. So, game against Georgia today. And yeah, I got something to say about that. Georgia fans have got off pretty easy when it comes to Sea Dog this year. I've been taking it pretty easy on them. I barely had enough time to talk about my Jackets because I've been so busy remodeling my house. So, it's been a pretty busy season for me. Don't take that to mean that I hate Georgia any less than I have before. Just because I'm not doing the hat thing, cheering against them. I've been watching, I've been following the season, and I've watched Georgia play a lot, and definitely have been cheering against them. And they're not that good. They're not that good. They're not elite. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you guys are seeing. This is not the Georgia teams of the past 2 years. Not even that those were really that good either. Um, this Georgia team it's unbelievable just how much they benefit from having just the easiest schedule they can roll through. I mean, the SEC in general, just an awful conference. It's extremely top heavy. We're going to find that out here very soon when we get into the postseason. Well, Georgia's going to find it out, well, possibly today, but definitely in the SEC championship because Alabama's hot. And I don't know why, but people seem to think that Georgia's going to beat Alabama. That's not happening. Alabama's clearly the better team. I mean, I know they weren't in the beginning of the year, but if you watch both teams play now, Alabama's better. Georgia just is a bunch of pussies. Really, they're a bunch of pussies. They don't have to. They don't have to play teams on the road. I saw some kind of advanced stat. Georgia has traveled. Okay, less than any. They have to. Their distance traveled is less than any other team in FBS. And people say, oh, that doesn't matter. Oh, it's the 21st century. It matters, okay? It freaking matters. Time zones are a thing that doesn't go away just because it's the 21st century and we can fly, okay? Georgia, I mean, they play 100 home games a year. Every tough game on their schedule they get at home. Ole Miss they get at home. Missouri they get at home. You know, Tennessee they had to go on the road, of course. Tennessee's freaking not even that good this year. I mean, none of the SEC is. So Georgia really has had a taffy freaking soft schedule, and it's been frustrating to watch. Obviously, as somebody who's hoping that they'll lose, they get to brag about 27 in a row freaking games in a row, 28 in a row games that we won. Well, when you play the likes of the SEC East in your schedule, plus from group of 5 teams, plus you get TCU in the freaking national championship. Yeah, only team in history in the history of the freaking 14 playoff to not have to go through Alabama to win the national championship. So if you think I'm impressed at all by Georgia, I'm not. Georgia is I don't know, man. People are inflating Georgia to more than what they are. They're not invincible. They're not unbeatable. They're not, they're not unstoppable. They're just not. Okay. Their schedule makes it look like that. They're like a high school kid beating up on a bunch of middle schoolers is what they are. And everybody is wowed by it every week. Well, it's not impressive. Not impressive at all. Georgia they're just, I can't stand them, man. They're going to find out here soon in the postseason. But, of course, I have a freaking game against my Jackets. And, well, the Jackets, don't have a particularly good defense this year. But, I just see a lot of people talking about, oh, this is a warm-up game. No, it's not. Georgia's not, like, light years better than us. They're not light years better than anybody, okay? It might look like that because you play every game at home and you have a freaking easy-ass schedule. Well, you're not a million light years ahead of everybody else. You're just not, okay? What a joke, dude. a freaking well-coached team or anything really could come up and beat Georgia. It's not like, I mean, yes, you can out-talent a bunch of people and everybody and look like all impressive for week to week, not have to freaking go on the road, play a pussy freaking soft schedule, and then when you do go on the road, you perform terribly. I mean, you didn't play that good against freaking Vanderbilt. It's like, Missouri last year. You go on the road, you struggle with them. They weren't good last year like they are this year, though. Don't worry. But I mean, when the toughest team you're playing is freaking Missouri, I mean, that's a concerning sign on your freaking schedule. So, get ready to lose to Alabama in the SEC championship. That's what's coming to you. But not before I lost to my Jackets. First freaking night game since 2009, and my Jackets are freaking jacked up. And guess what? You can't hurt me this year, okay? I consider this season a success for Georgia Tech. I consider this a good season for us because we've made our first bowl game. We haven't been very good. I'm the epitome of throwing stones, okay, in a glass house right now. Just because I'm not impressed by Georgia. Doesn't mean I'm saying that Georgia Tech's some kind of amazing team. But we've got to our first bowl game since 2018 and are making steady progress. So, I mean, what does that mean this year? Well, it means we'll give you a competitive game. You're not going to come in there and just steamroll over us like I know you think you are. You're just not, though. And also, you're going to start losing recruits. Do you guys remember Calvin Johnson and how mad you were and how mad you still are about not getting Calvin Johnson? There's more to that to come. Georgia Tech is finally not running the triple option anymore, taking an easy mode on you guys. So we're taking the leash off, the metaphorical leash off, okay? And we're about to be unleashed onto the college football world. It's going to take a little bit, but we're going to get recruiting up in here, and we're going to get some more money coming through the program, and you're going to start losing recruits to us. You're going to start losing games to us. I know it's shocking and scary, and you don't want to hear that, and you don't want to believe it, and you're probably sitting there, and you're all smug, and you're like, this freaking idiot doesn't know what he's talking about. I do. It's you that don't know what you're talking about. I have something to tell Georgia fans, okay? Just because your team is winning games, this is an epidemic that I've noticed among the dumbass Georgia fan base. Just because your team is winning games doesn't make your dumbass opinion any more valuable than it ever was. So all these people seem to think that their status is raised because they're a Georgia fan and their team, and that means their opinion means more. It doesn't. It's just as worthless as it was before. It's just as worthless as it was back when you guys were known as the choke artists and the freaking embarrassing talent wasters, okay? It's just as worthless as then. Your opinion is worthless. You are a dumbass dog fan. You're probably only here because the team's freaking won a couple games. Most of you watching this video wouldn't be here if Georgia Tech was, if Georgia was, bowl eligible, 6-6. You wouldn't be here. We wouldn't hear from you. You'd be gone. You'd be non-existent on the internet. So to those people, I can see them from a mile away. I can tell people who have just been here, okay, and I don't bother entertaining them or arguing with them because I know that just now, I know that as soon as as tough times come your way, you people will be gone. And I've seen it myself last year during the Ohio State game when Georgia was losing that game, okay? When Georgia was losing that game, I streamed the game, the whole game, and no one was in there the entire time until Georgia came back and won, and then like 200 people came in the stream to laugh and make fun of me because I was cheering against them. Where were you people during? You can't take it. You are pussy soft, just like your team's schedule. You're pussy soft, okay? Your opinion means nothing. You're a freaking you're poof. You're soft, okay? The Georgia fan base is the most insecure fan base I've ever seen. And this is going to offend you because it's true. Georgia fans are incredibly insecure, okay? They've had a little bit of success they've ever had in their entire lives, all right? And they are still, they're going around making sure everybody knows. They're going to all corners of the internet, making sure everybody's talking about them. They can't stand when a conversation is not about them. They can't stand it. So they have to insert their dumbass opinion into everything when no one asked. And guess what? It means nothing. It means nothing. Whatever dumbass freaking comment you're typing right now in the comment section to tell C-Dog, it means nothing. You're an idiot. You are a dumbass dog fan. A dumbass inbred dog fan who knows nothing about football. Okay? That's what you are. That's what you are. Georgia has by far, I am dead serious, by far the worst fan base. They have the dumbest fan base, the most insecure fan base, and the most piece of shit people in a fan base. I'm talking about trash. Worse than, you name it. Worse than LSU, worse than Alabama, worse than Florida, and guess what? Worse than Tennessee. Georgia fans have been all up in arms about this one Tennessee fan who freaking hoped that Brock Bowers would get hurt, okay? Been all up in arms about it. Well, let's not forget that Georgia is the pioneer of taking shit too far. Don't you guys remember our buddy, Let the Big Dog Eat? Went up to the Pat Summitt statue at Neyland Stadium and made fun of our Alzheimer's. Shout out to Let the Big Dog Eat. I actually know that guy. I don't know if any of you remember, but this guy went up to Pat Summitt, the Tennessee basketball coach, women's basketball coach, and made fun of her for her Alzheimer's. She had died, and they had a statue of her. He was standing in front of the statue and made fun of her Alzheimer's. Shout out to that guy. I know that guy. I know that guy personally. So Georgia fans are all up in arms about this Tennessee guy, and they think that they're some kind of morally superior. They're on some kind of moral high ground above the Tennessee man. They're on some kind of, they just think that they're above them morally because they would never wish a player to get hurt. Well, just keep in mind, okay? I mean, what they don't realize is that both parties are wrong. Both parties are a bunch of inbred hillbilly rednecks arguing with each other, and they're all idiots, okay? The Georgia fan is the problem. He's the idiot guy who thinks he's smart. He thinks because his team's won all these games that his opinion suddenly is gold. It's not. I just broke so many Georgia fans' hearts. I just blew their minds. I don't even know if they can comprehend it because they're probably like, "Nuh-uh, I'm going to leave this guy a comment, tell him what I think." It means nothing. You're an idiot. I don't care about your comment. I don't care. I don't care. It means nothing. You're a dumbass. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? I can't count the amount of idiotic comments. You people would not believe how dumb these people can be in my comment section. I'm constantly blown away by how dumb Georgia fans can be and the dumb comments that they leave. I'm sure this video will have plenty of them. And yes, you have the worst fan base in all college football, all around. I know that people have had different experiences with different fan bases, and they think this fan base is worse. They think LSU fans are bad. Georgia fans are worse. Y'all don't know what I know then if you don't think that. Y'all haven't had to put up with them your entire life. I live in the state of Georgia. It's not fun. Georgia fans are the worst by far. By far. The worst fan base ever. and the most insecure. And people are starting to realize that now that they've had some success and they're going around, and they won't shut up. And they won't shut up. Somebody's going to have to shut them up. Somebody's going to have to shut them up. Because like I said, once they lose, I'll be gone. And I have receipts. So you might try to leave, but Sea-Dog will find you and will give you hell. Okay? And I'll make sure you never come back. So I hope that you've enjoyed this fluke run that Georgia's on. Yeah, amazing. You can win 29 or whatever games in a row it is now. You can win that many rows with the unbelievably soft schedule. Clemson and Alabama and Ohio State are inexplicably like worse than they have been in the past decade. They're all worse now. So you don't have to deal with things like Deshaun Watson, Clemson. You don't have to deal with you don't got to deal with the Alabama teams of old. Nick Saban's clearly past his prime. Look, he's past his prime, but he's got a good team this year. He's going to beat you. It's not as good as what it used to be. Mac Jones, the 2020 year was probably the last great team he had. Ever since 2021, Nick Saban's been falling off. It just is what it is. I think he's past his prime. Of course, you guys beat your chest and brag about how you beat a freaking hurt Alabama team in 2021. Meanwhile, you got blown out in the SEC championship. Their two best players get hurt, which was the only reason they were good. That's why it's embarrassing, is that they had only two good players on that team, plus Bryce Young, so three good players. That was their entire offense. It was, Bryce Young and those two receivers. One of them goes down. They're on their way to blowing you out a second time in the national championship. Then the other one goes down, and then you're finally able to beat Alabama after a million years of being owned by them, and you think you're the freaking world beaters. Look, Kirby Smart is not on the upper echelon of coaches or whatever. He's not. Oh, my God. Some short-term success does not put you up there with the college football greats. It doesn't. It doesn't. You're sitting here playing. You've got look at the playing field the past couple of years. You've got like Cincinnati in the playoffs. You've got TCU in the playoffs. Like, what world is this? And Georgia is thriving, beating up on middle schoolers. These past couple Georgia teams would have got destroyed by Trevor Lawrence, Clemson, or the Alabama teams from any year in the 2010s. And they think that they are up here, and they just think Georgia fans. That's why they're insecure, because I think they know they're not truly legitimate, so they have to go and spread their dumbass opinions everywhere. Like, you can't have a college football conversation without a Georgia fan coming in and bragging and making it about them. They can't stand it. Well, guess what? The college football world doesn't revolve around Georgia. Okay? It doesn't. So I hope you enjoyed whatever this streak, because it's about to end soon. Okay? First of all, you're getting Alabama in the SEC championship. First team, like I said, to ever dodge them in the playoff era. First team to ever win the national championship without being Alabama or having to play Alabama. That's a crazy stat. So if you think that you're just going to roll through them, I mean, I don't know who you people think you are. Georgia is not Alabama. Georgia's not Clemson. You're just not. So I hope you enjoyed this run. It's going to be over soon. Ends tonight, really, with my Jackets. I hope you guys come up in here thinking that we're just some pushover team. We're sorry. We're freaking suck. I really hope that you guys come up in here thinking that. And if we lose, hey, we really have nothing to lose. We made a bowl game this year. Like I said, our season's successful. I haven't even previewed this game much. Well, I don't really need to. This game is this game would be kind of like cherry on top as if to our season. I consider this a good. We're in a rebuild, so I consider this a successful season so far. It's not like you can take any thing away from us, but we can take something away from you. So I hope you bring your A game. Because the Jackets will sting you if you don't. That's right. To hell with Georgia. To hell with all of their fans. Watching this video right now. To hell with you. Unless you're one of the good guys, of course. That's so funny when I hear them call themselves the good guys, as if they're the awful fans that go around terrorizing everybody think they're the good guys. Hey, that's a mark of a good villain, though, is the one who thinks that he's doing the right thing. You're not. You're awful. You're awful, and nobody wants you around, Georgia fan. So I hope that you were able to take something from this. Maybe learn to shut your mouth every once in a while, because not everybody wants to hear from you, because it means nothing. So I hope you guys, that's my feelings on Georgia, and I hope that maybe some of you were able to learn something from this. Probably not. I've dealt with Georgia fans a long time, like I said, my whole life. I've been around them a lot. They never learn. They're stuck in their ways. That's what makes them the worst. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Go Jackets. To hell with Georgia. And I'll see you guys next time.